Silent Night, a film by John Woo, is the kind of film that has done everything right on paper but is artistically garbage, and lacks heart and reason to give a shit about any of its characters. This movie is almost like, and I say this knowing that this is a low-hanging fruit of an insult, but it's almost like someone typed into ChatGPT and said, write a John Wick-style script with Christmas themes sprinkled all around it. That's what this film is. Look, you're allowed to be stylistic with your film, but we as the audience should not notice it. We should only feel it on a subconscious level. That's a good way to do movies, and this movie failed at that. Don't get me wrong, it has some elements of entertaining action, but it still couldn't save the movie, and I love Joel Kinnaman. Joel Kinnaman, who you may know from Altered Carbon, RoboCop, Suicide Squad, he has done some stuff brilliantly, so this is not his fault. It's just bad script. And probably directing. Look, even if you brought Keanu Reeves into this movie to play the same exact character, this movie is still going to fail. Especially from its bad editing and its awful generic-like story structure. I don't necessarily go to movies for realism, however, I don't want to notice how unrealistic your movie is, and that's what John Woo has done here. Now, for those of you who don't know who John Woo is, here are movies he has directed.
Difficult to be a walk in the park for you.
I don't care if I live.
You're not having any fun, are you, Sean? Try terrorism for hire.
Let's just kill each other.
What the hell are you doing?
With how bad this movie came out, I can't help but think maybe John Woo did actually do a good job with this movie, but sometimes the executive of a studio can choose to re-edit the entire film and leave the director's vision out of it. Because this movie seems like there's a good movie inside there somewhere, but someone just messed it all up in the editing room. With all that said, here is the plot. A grieving father enacts his long-awaited revenge against a ruthless gang on Christmas Eve after witnessing the death of his young son when the boy gets caught in a crossfire between a gang war drive-by. Recovering from a wound that cost him his voice after being shot in the throat by one of the gang members he was chasing after, he soon embarks on a bloody and grueling quest to punish those responsible. Okay, so let's do the pros and cons now. I will start with cons first so that we can end on a good note with the pros. Con number 1. This movie is just okay, and that's troubling because it has a lot of visual stylistic things going for it. And I felt like it had the recipe for success, but somehow it just missed it because the road was already paved for them by movies like John Wick, but somehow this movie still just fell short. Con number 2. You don't end up really caring about any of the characters in this film. Maybe the wife character, but aside from that, all the characters lacked depth. Con number 3. I love a good shoot 'em up movie. Hell yeah. Except this movie, everyone is a stormtrooper and they miss every single shot they take. It's just primarily empty shootouts at close range. People only just get clipped only when it furthers the plot. It's just silly. They just keep missing their shots. It will blow your mind. Con number 4. The lead character bought an old unmaintained 2016 Ford Mustang underneath the bridge next to a homeless hobo, gets in the car, starts it, and it worked immediately. No. Con number 5. Joel Kinnaman and Catalina Sandino Moreno do not deserve to have their careers ruined by this film. Especially Joel Kinnaman. He needs a break. Con number 6. No one in this movie does anything that practically makes sense. Con number 7. Most movies have a cohesive training montage before the mayhem begins. Not this one. This one, the training montage goes for like 30 minutes. At some point, it almost looks like a man watching YouTube and practicing his hobbies in the garage. Okay, let's do pros. Pro number 1. The action sequences look pretty cool, even if they're pretty much just empty. Pro number 2. You basically find out you can learn everything you need to know about a revenge-fueled murder spree on YouTube. Pro number 3. The production value and set designs are actually not lacking in this movie. It's pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and rate this movie a 3 out of 10 because it's not a good movie, but there is a good movie inside there somewhere, and we will probably never see that movie, and that makes me sad. I have 2 movies that are far better for you to watch than to watch Silent Night, and those movies are Peppermint,
Dirty cops. What do I want? I want justice.
and The Punisher movie.
They were dead wrong.
And also the Punisher TV series.
Killing.
because this movie failed to do what those movies did for the revenge genre, and I don't think it's worth your cash or time. And that's my 2 cents. If this video brought you any value whatsoever, please like and consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Till next time, peace.